Mark 13:24 through 37. Jesus said, "In those days after that suffering, the sun will be darkened, and the moon will not give its light, and the stars will be falling from heaven, and the powers in the heavens will be shaken. Then they will see the Son of Man coming in clouds with great power and glory. Then he will send out the angels and gather his elect from the four winds, from the ends of the earth to the ends of heaven. From the fig tree learn its lesson. As soon as its branches become tender and puts forth its leaves, you know the summer is near. So also when you see these things taking place, you know that he is near at the very gates. Truly I tell you, this generation will not pass away until all these things have taken place. Heaven and earth will pass away, but my words will not pass away. But about that day or hour no one knows, neither the angels in heaven nor the Son, but only the Father. Beware, keep alert, for you do not know when the time will come. It is like a man going on a journey, when he leaves home and puts his slaves in charge, each with his work, and commands the doorkeeper to be on watch. Therefore keep awake, for you do not know when the master of the house will come, in the evening, or at midnight, or at cockcrow, or at dawn, or else he may find you asleep when he comes suddenly. And what I say to you, I say to all, keep awake." Okay, that's the gospel for the first Sunday of Advent. I hope everybody had a lovely Thanksgiving, and that everybody was able to stay well and kind of enjoy time with their families. It's nice to get away from school for a little bit, or whatever else you have going on. Hopefully you didn't have to work. Coming up, we have a couple of things I just want to mention. On the 2nd of December, we have St. Nicholas Night. I'll send a little bit more information about that when I get it. I'll be in contact with Mary Boland pretty soon about that. And then on the 7th, which is a Monday, we'll be going on our Ambassadors for Children shopping trip. I have looked through all of the items that we need to get, and it looks like everything is going to be easy to find. So we'll try to break into groups and do that relatively quickly, so we're not there forever. But I think it'll be fun, and that's all the information for that is in emails that I have sent, and we'll send again, so you'll know what to do there. Okay, let's talk a little bit about this gospel. This is another sort of prophecy gospel about the end times. And in this, we get a lot of references to the Old Testament, some passages from Daniel and Deuteronomy, a few other places actually in the Old Testament that talk about images that we are supposed to look out for, basically, or events, things that are supposed to happen, especially in nature, for us to look out for when we know that the second coming is close at hand, is sort of the idea here. So the sun being darkened, the moon giving no light, stars falling from the heaven. Those are all things that are mentioned in the Old Testament as well, in prophecy passages, and then they're mentioned again here. Jesus gives 4 of his disciples insight into what's going to happen. They ask him, "When will you return? What's going to happen? When will we know what's going to take place?" And you have to kind of put this in context of the New Testament, that there's a lot of persecution being endured by Christians at the time who do not want to practice the religion of Rome, or sort of worship the emperor, I guess, because he's seen to be divine. And many of them were killed for that. Their faith was not really in all places allowed to be practiced openly. It was tolerated, but it wouldn't be like the freedoms that we have here to practice whatever religion we believe in. So they're asking, when will this time of persecution and hardship, when will that pass away? And he doesn't really give them a clear answer about an actual time frame, but he gives them signs to look for. And it talks about once all these things start to happen, that generation that's witnessing these signs will not pass away before he comes. So once all of these things start to happen, the process occurs pretty quickly. When that happens, we are told that we won't know. We won't be able to predict that, and that only the Father, God the Father of the Trinity, only he knows that time, and only he knows when that will be appropriate. and when to respond with the second coming. So that's really what this passage is about. And I think toward the end, really, he kind of gives us a mandate. He was telling the disciples that the most important thing for them is to keep awake, to be ready, to be aware that nobody knows that time, how much time they'll have when the time runs out, and that we should all be wakeful and ready for whatever would come, and steadfast in our faith all the way through those things. And I think, that's something that we do every week anyway. We reaffirm our faith with communion and the creeds and in the prayer book and different things that we do as Episcopalians. We reaffirm all of those things, and we try to remind ourselves to wait patiently, but to wait with great thought and awareness for the things that God says will come to pass, and that at the same time we serve others. So I think that's something that the Episcopal Church especially does really well, that we try to do all of those things still. And I am very thankful for that aspect of our faith and how we worship, how we commune with one another, the fellowship that happens, and the reverence of our services. And I know in this time we kind of some of us have gotten away from doing that, me included, out of fear and concern for others during this time, dealing with COVID. But I want you to know that I pray for you all, and I hope this finds you well, and I can see the light at the end of the tunnel, kind of, with this illness that we're dealing with. And I pray that all of us make it through that safely. I think that's everything for today. I hope you have a wonderful first Sunday of Advent. If you haven't thought a whole lot about what Advent really means, what that season means, maybe look some things up. It's a really beautiful remembrance kind of time in the liturgical calendar, and we'll continue to talk about that as we go forward. Thank you, everybody. I'll see you later.